Hi guys, I'm here to talk about a project. We recently spoke about Lean Six Sigma. We also spoke about how to develop your skill set so that you can be sellable in the market when you come from your industry, whether you're working or even if you're into college, how to improve your saleability in the market. Now, let's talk about a small, quick project. I would also talk about students who are there in the college as well as people who are there in the industry. Let's just start with the students who are there in the college. So guys, you can run this project in your college. Let's check about say that we need to be very clear with what is the problem statement. So say for example, we want to check how happy your students are with the teachers, for example, and what is their satisfaction score for. So the first thing is that the problem is that you want to improve the student satisfaction score with like when your teachers are teaching in your college. So the first thing that you need to do is that run out a survey now, so that we get to know about that how is the current trend, where we are trending now, so that accordingly we can just target where we want to reach. So say for example you created a survey where you said, tell me whether you're happy with your teacher, rate your teacher in 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 being the top, that means they are the happiest with their teacher, and 1 being the most unhappiest score. So 5 top, 1 bottom, 1 2 3 4 5. Let them score it. So say for example you did a roll out a survey, and you got a score that say 40% of the students are very very happy with your faculties. So they all gave 4 and 5. Cool. So 4 and 5 we can take it at the top bucket. Now say there is around 40% of the people who are average. They don't know whether they're happy, they're not happy, or maybe they're not interested to give their feedback. Maybe they are in between. So this is around 40%, which is scoring 3. And say 1 and 2, which is we can take it as a bottom quartile. And these students are saying that they are not at all happy. So these are 20% of the students. So overall 40 very happy, 40 don't know, and 20 unhappy. You know what's the problem. So your satisfaction score at this point in time is, I can say 40%. Now say for example you want to increase this 40 to, let's take a target of 60%. So increment of 20% in the top bucket. Now we are not taking any target into middle or bottom bucket. So our focus area is the top bucket. That means 60% of our students should be happy with their faculties. So this is clear with you in the first survey. Now let's create a questionnaire. Let's roll out a second survey to all the folks to understand why they are not happy. What I would say is, when you know the problem statement, and when you want to improve what is the score, what I would suggest is that, this is I'm telling from personal experience, and you can try differently as well, is that let's not focus in the bottom section, because these are very very unhappy students. While we should definitely, and we will put efforts overall to improve the satisfaction score, but if you see numbers, if you want to achieve that 60%, bringing somebody who's completely unhappy to a happy stage will be a little difficult and challenging. Rather, if you want to smartly move to the that 60% target, your focus should be on the middle bucket, which is scoring 3, because maybe they're happy or maybe they're unhappy, and they have not even given a thought, or they don't know or whether they're happy or not, and the effort required to move these guys to the happy level would be a little easier. So let's target these 40% of the people who have scored 3 to the teacher experience. Let's roll out another survey to this 40% of the people, and there you can ask questions like, for example, if you in your previous survey you have scored that you don't know whether you're happy or not, and you scored 3. Can you let us know what are the reasons? One could be, are you not happy with the knowledge of the teacher? Second could be, are you not happy with the delivery? Are you not happy with the question and answer? Or you're not happy with the availability of the faculty? Now these are the 4 options that I can think about. We can think a little more, and if you want you can make say 5 or 6 options, but don't make it too long, because then the person who's reviewing also will get confused. So shared with again this 40% of the population who has scored 3. Now say for example you got to know about that 40% of the people are not happy out of these 40. So say out of those 40, again 40% is like around 16 people. Say 16 people says that they're not happy with the knowledge. So there's 2 ways that you can recommend. One is that We should request our faculties to be more prepared when they come to take sessions. That's one. And second could be that we can devise a process knowledge or subject knowledge test from the teachers, which can be surprise or which can be planned, and you have a statistics scores to be confident enough that whether they know about the subject that they're teaching or not, and what is the level. And in case you find out that out of 10 teachers, say there are 2 who are training very much at the bottom, probably we can give them some extra training, extra time, and we can give them guidance so that they can focus on their knowledge, and they will know very clearly that our students are not happy with the knowledge which they are delivering. Second could be they're not happy with the deliveries. Then probably we have to give them some soft skill training. That should be the recommendation to your management, and possibly your English teacher or any presentation teacher, soft skill teachers who are there can only take care of it. So there's no cost. So it's absolutely easy. You should go ahead and recommend that, hey, let's train these teachers on how to deliver. Third could be maybe question and answer when they're answering. Sometimes it happens that students are asking the question not to know the information but to trouble the class. These kind of things also happens. And if so is the case, because I'm sure assuming that the teacher will be able to answer any questions which is being asked by a student, or if not, then he can go back, research and come back. So probably we should train the teachers on the people skills, how to handle difficult students, or students who are not very easy to be in the class, etc. While I know there'll be always some troublemakers, some good students in a class. So we need to train our teachers to understand that as well. And I'm giving all these suggestions from a teacher's perspective, what a teacher need to improve. There's huge scope for the students as well. So I'm not saying there's no scope for the students. Definitely there's a lot of participation, etc. required. But let's right now focus only on teachers, what they can do. Fourth could be, so there we should recommend that a soft skill training for the teachers. Fourth could be, availability is the problem. Then we know what is the solution. We need to talk to our faculties, let them know, hey, be available maybe 5 minutes prior to the classes, so the students are not feeling that they are their time is getting disrespected, etc. So I think this way you can try to solve the problem. And now say for example, with these recommendations, you can move that 40% of people who are at 3 who are scoring 3 at this point of time, after making some changes, you should communicate all this information to your students. And then probably say after a month, when there is changes, when they experience that yes, teachers are putting effort, then you take another survey, and I'm sure the scores will move from say 40% who are scoring 3, at least 20% will go to 20 of them will move to your top bucket, which is 4 or 5, and you'll achieve your target. Cool, guys. Let's move on to the industry one. So people who work in the industry, you may work for customer satisfaction scores. Simple. Create a questionnaire. I'm sure every standard organization will have a survey from their customers already, so you just need to get the data, and possibly if you can look for these informations. One, why are you not happy with the service in case? And I'm again talking about you have to take top bucket, bottom bucket, and the middle bucket. And always, it's my personal suggestion that always target the middle bucket, which is easy to move to the top, because at the bottom, if you start working, they might come to the average but not to the happy bucket. So best thing is to start with, you have to first try to get the low-hanging fruits, and then we can focus on the bottom as well. Absolutely, we should. So let's focus on the bottom, middle one again, and try to move them to the upper side. So here what we should do is again look into the data, that why they're not happy. Possibly because they're not happy with the communication of the associate that they have interacted with. Could be one reason. Second could be the time it has taken to contact the service team. Possibly they mailed 10 days back and got a response after 10 days, and that's why though their issue is resolved but they're not happy. Possibly third reason could be the process which you're explaining to resolve a problem is pretty complex. Like, so for example, if you're working in a bank, you're telling a customer to go and visit the branch. Now it's pretty hectic for me. I don't want to visit a branch, I just want a solution at my home, or maybe through online, and that process you don't have. So what is the gap. Likewise, you can create a questionnaire again of 4 to 5 questions. Now, again, you have to think for what can be a probable solution. Say, for example, if the first is the problem wherein they are not happy with the service of the person with whom they have interacted, the solution is pretty simple. We need to give them training. We need to have monitoring and feedback. so that they improve their the service point of contacts or the associates who are providing the service need to improve their servicing skills, their communication, and being customer oriented, being a little courteous, and using some various kind of tips and tricks are there how they can delight the customer. So you can just arrange a customer delight session for your team where they can get to know about do's and don'ts while interacting with the customers. That's one probable solution in case the problem is first one. Now say for example if the problem is second one, where they are taking a lot of time to reach the service team. There's no issues. They are providing solutions, they are giving good communications, but it's taking a lot of time to reach even to the service team. Then you know that you need a little higher number of manpower possibly that can solve the if it is emails, they can solve the emails faster. If it is through calls, the more people are available, they can respond to the customer. So probably what you should do is you should go and check how is the inflow trend, what time you are getting maximum number of calls, or what time you're getting maximum number of emails, or any kind of communication. Wherever the inflow is higher, you should have more number of people so that you can manage the time and you can reduce the time. So then that should be your area to work on. Now say for example if they're not happy with the process, then it's simple. You need to innovate. You need to create processes which are friendly to your customers. So absolutely you have to go ahead and give feedback to the product team or program team that you have, that hey look, customer 80 so X% of your customers are not happy with the process itself, though we are doing everything fine, but the process that you're suggesting to the customers, maybe in case of like banking customers visiting a branch, or say if it's a phone phone subscription, Airtel, Idea kind of a service provider, where you're not refunding the additional credit or incorrect recharge which is being done by a customer. Now the process is that, say for example, you have to wait for 1 month and then only we can refund it, or say the process is that you have to go dial this number and then online you have to fill up a form, which is a little complex. So you need to give feedback on that hey, this is not working out, we need to change the process, and then basically experience whatever that you can suggest out there. Go ahead and recommend to your product team so that there can be changes in the process and the customer will feel delight. I would say this is how you can improve the existing process. Looking into the you can start with the data, looking into the data, and then taking out information from there, and then recommendations to improve. And once you start implementing those, start measuring and comparing, and then if it is working out, say for example you made some changes, and say if it's working out, then the next step should be to develop a check around it, so that you need to have reports, you need to have audit mechanisms, you need to have checks mechanisms, so that you consistently maintain that level, whatever that you want to achieve. So achieving probably could be one of the goal, but then achieving you have to control, and then you should document the entire process. How did you do it? So that in future also, if the your whatever is the goal, if you're dipping from there, somebody else can take care of it. If you have a standard SOP, standard operating procedures in place, they can just look into it again, follow the same process, and bring back the level which is required. This is how you can bring improvement in any kind of process, in any kind of organizations or college that you're working into. I would suggest that go ahead and try to implement it, and you will definitely see improvement. I'm just trying to give you some approach which can help you out. Possibly this may not fit into your scenario or your college, your university, your organizations, but I would say if you develop thought process in these directions, you will be able to identify what is apt for your environment, and then probably you can make recommendations to change or to bring improvement or to innovate the existing processes. Guys, I have some other content as well in my channel. I would request please go ahead and check. There is some interesting stuff in Lean Six Sigma, how to prepare from university to get into corporate. Do comment, like, share, and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys.